Alright folks, part 3 of this Taito Chase HQ cab. Last time we redid the wood and we now have the artwork here in place. We put this around in the matte bat, but I wasn't happy, so I actually took it out altogether. We're going to redo that part. But next we've issues also with, there's a plate here that goes here and that receive the pedals, or the assembly for the pedal, but we have a stuck or a broken bolt that we need to take care of and remove, and then we need to maybe redo the paint and de-rust that whole assembly, and we'll deal with the coin door as well. Okay, what's going on?
I'm a ninja.
Yeah, that's not a ninja.
Yes, it is.
Okay, you're a ninja. Okay, why are you a ninja?
I'm following the way.
The way you're following the
PCB way.
I can't. I'm not doing this.
PCB Way offers manufacturing services along with part assembly. They also offer a number of fantastic services like CNC, metal sheet fabrication, 3D printing, and even injection molding, turning it into a one-stop shop for all your DIY projects. So go to PCB Way, upload your project files, and get an instant quote. And thank you to them for sponsoring this video. I'm keeping the money, Ali.
Alright, first thing, we have this plate where the pedal mounting or the pedal assembly rests inside the cab, and we had a problem with a screw that was still in there. So my plan initially was actually to drill a notch here and try to push it through, but that didn't quite work. However, while using the Dremel, it sort of loosens the thing, and while attacking it from this side, it started spinning freely and pushing it out. So there you go. It was a lot easier than I thought it would be, to be honest. Lucky escape here, because drilling stuck bolts and broken bolts can be a right pain sometimes. I'm also in the process of redoing the mat, because I just wasn't happy with the thickness. This is about how thick this should be, and this is how thick this was. So I found, thank you Stephen for pointing me to the right one. I found a good length. I have enough for a few more cabs down the line if I need to. So and I've cut it. It's being flattened right now. I had to remove this one, remove the whole metal assembly part, ring surround thing that goes around the foot, the base of the cab. Can't speak, but anyway, so let's bring this back over there. Actually, I'm gonna leave this here because next I need to, yeah, that's not good enough. There's probably rust. Yeah, there's traces of paint lifting in places. We're going to strip this off paint and respray it entirely, and I'm going to bring the pedal assembly as well and do it here. Yeah, we've that pedal assembly here, and well, it's working, but it needs a clean at least. It's kind of cruddy. Interesting to see. We've got this whole analog kind of vibe and the spring and all that, and what it is, it's actually not an analog pedal at all. It's just two switches, accelerate or not. Taito doing stuff on the cheap here. I suppose I'm used to Sega cabs where everything is sort of over-engineered, to be honest. So alright, so I'm stripping the paint of the pedal assembly. This is the bottom here. And then we're gonna do something about the rust. Yeah, there's quite a bit of rust underneath, so it's good to remove all the paint and not just gonna sand a few spots and then paint over it. And it's peeling nicely. This is the second pass. Usually you do like 2-3 passes. One is generally not enough, but it takes the paint fairly quickly. So I'm gonna leave that rest for maybe 5 minutes and come back and then we'll move on to removing rust. I don't have a lot of this guy left, so I think we'll just do kind of awkward spots with it, and then the rest, all the flat surfaces, we can actually sand down and then clean with acetone afterwards. Right, got parts stripped of paint and rust. It's a combination of just rust, de-rusting product. There's still a bit of a stickiness to this. Yeah, that needs more. I'm gonna soak this in acetone just to get, oh yeah, that's not good. Okay, I'll find a little tub. Plan is I'm heating it here with a heat gun. It'll help the coat, or the primer coat, stick a little bit better and faster. Leave that overnight, and tomorrow I'll come and start putting a couple of coats of black paint, maybe I think 3. I'm also gonna heat them. If you can, this is just a big heater from a distance, but maybe make yourself like a cardboard box with a blow dryer where you can have all your items in, because the heat will actually help the paint bond a bit better and stick better, and you won't get those scratches on it as soon as you take them out or put them in place. All right, I have the coin doors here. I already removed the paint, or most of the paint, and I just had it sprayed with WD-40, kind of just to treat it a little bit, prevent rust from coming back. But I'm going to use a wire brush and a drill, and just remove all that. It's going to take a while. It's going to be tedious, but that's the best way to do this now. Even with a rust remover, I'd need to do something like that anyway. So let's just go. You get the idea. And that's the first one here done. Just a coated primer for now, and then we'll wait for that to dry, and we'll do then black paint on it. I'm doing them one at a time because it's easy once you've sanded one down for the rust to come back to some extent, so it's easier to do them one at a time. Battery on this has died, was empty, so I'm just charging a new one over there, and I'll continue in a short while. Spraying it with WD-40, it helps remove the rust when you're using this here. And then try to get as bare metal as possible. And then to remove the WD-40, I use soapy water. It can be tricky to remove, but soapy water works wonderful. And dry it as fast as you can, because otherwise you can get rust to come back quite quickly. You'd be surprised, especially in damp weather. It's not a problem today, it's quite sunny, but it can happen quick. And then coat it with a primer, and then leave it overnight for the primer to really adhere and bond. And if it's sunny like that, you can just leave it in the sun. It'll heat up and help it stick to the primer. All right, a few hours of work. This is the coin door now, back in place, resprayed. And next we need to move on to this control panel. You'll also notice, maybe if I have a wide angle, the place has changed slightly. I have emptied most of here. I still have this corner that I need to move out because I needed to extend the ceiling here, all this area. I will do a video on this at some point. The plan for here is actually to move all the arcade machines here in this space over there, just as far as the stairs here. And I've moved most of my work stuff to the shed over there at the back, and I have plenty of space here now to dry line the place, insulate, do a lot of work. That's going to happen over the winter. For now, I'm going to finish this cab while it's here, and then move that to the existing arcade. The plan is to repurpose the what is the arcade room here. That isn't big enough for all the machines. That has served me well, but moved all of that out of here because it is quite cramped, and then use this for storage for all my
water stuff like surfboards, foils and kayaks and paddleboards and all that kind of stuff, bikes. It's all going to go in there. It's insulated, it's dry, it's warmish, but at least it's dry, so that'll be perfect. We might even put all the foods on that we normally have in the other shed, reserves in here as well, because it is dry. We'll see if we have enough room. For now, it can stay over there. But yeah, that's the plan. For now though, this is next. It looks okay, but there is, yeah, some de-rusting to do. There's a bit of work, and the artwork seems okay, but it needs to come off. It's bubbling here. Here it's torn in a few parts. All these bolts have to come off anyway and get cleaned. And also, see these here? Well, at the back, they serve no purpose whatsoever. I do not know what these were for. Maybe to hold an ashtray, maybe? I don't know. But it's, we need to take those off, plug the holes, clean all this, and get new artwork, because the artwork, like I said, yeah, is bubbling. It's missing a bit here. You can hear that. It's just it's coming off the metal, and I bet you there's some rust underneath. All right, I'm stripping off the front panel, and I've everything here just dismantled, and I need to remember the order where things go and everything. We're gonna have some little bit of cleaning on this, but not too much. Re-greasing all the parts, and yeah, see if there's any damage to these guys. I don't think so, so we won't have to make new ones. Yeah, hopefully I'll remember the order things are in. Just look at that though. This is, yeah, the rust on the metal part, so that needs to be treated before it gets worse and worse. And it's always a gamble whenever you have something that looks kind of okay, but isn't, does my light go here, but isn't completely gone, but you just know underneath is a potential disaster. It's not that bad, but it needed to be removed and retreated and resprayed. So there's no easy way to do this. I'm doing this with the heat gun, heating it enough so the glue kind of melts under it, and then you can lift it with a scraper. Right, the control panel has been stripped of pretty much all paint. I've sprayed it for now with WD-40 just to protect the metal a little bit so it doesn't rust over too much. But I'm looking at these guys, these 3 holes, and I don't think these are stock at all. So I'm wondering what the best thing is to patch them, because I don't really want them underneath the artwork. You know, you could poke that easily. Very often people will use Bondo, but it's fine for stuff like that, or isopon. For something a bit bigger like this, not ideal. So I might see if I can find a little piece of metal and then weld that, and maybe just fill that with weld as well. Maybe put a piece of wood or something like that underneath and just try to melt something into this instead of just using Bondo. That, you know, on something like that, it'll fall at some point. Maybe a little washer like that, and see if you can weld something onto that first, if it'll accept the weld. But that would be just about wide enough to cover the hole, and I could use a little section just to plug here and here. Yeah. Right, that's it all. Kind of stripped and sanded. Patched the holes here. There's still like little gaps, but that's okay, because we're going to fill that then with Bondo. That's when Bondo, or that's when it should be used, just to fill small gaps like that, and not for structural stuff on the backside. It's okay. It's I'm not a welder, but I think it's just acceptable as little patches. So I'm gonna fill the gaps here, and then we'll apply a coat of primer to start. Right, that's our control panel all resprayed, patched. Actually, where was it? It was here. I still see a tiny little dent. But we're going to cover this with artwork anyway. So I've clear coated it just to protect the paint while the artwork arrives. If it chips a little bit, it doesn't matter. It's not a front-facing piece of metal. It's just to protect everything. This had to be resprayed as well. And while we're waiting for the artwork to arrive, I'm starting to clean everything. Right now, I'm taking apart and sort of reconditioning. These were dark, these bumper yokes, and this, it was just coated with crud. So I've cleaned them now. This wasn't too healthy looking either. And there was a bit, traces of rust everywhere. So I'm just treating that with WD-40, and we'll wire wheel that out. And then there's a few bolts here and there, so I'm going to also spray those with WD-40. Another thing we can do while we're waiting for the artwork to arrive is take care of the brackets for the marquee here. And I just need to find it. I'm not sure where it is anymore. But there was one problem, is that we only have one bracket. I think the bottom or top, they're the same, I believe. Holes are here. Yeah, there's 3 holes. So there should be the same bracket. Would make sense. And I only have one. So I think we'll use that for the bottom one. And we need to see if we can... well, we could find online maybe, but maybe I think I have enough metal to make the top one. Because the bottom one is the one that supports the marquee, really. The top one just clamps it, just helps it to clamp it onto this a bit better. So let's see where that marquee is, where that bracket is, and see what pieces of metal I have. Found it. Yeah, so it needs obviously a clean. We'll strip off the paint like we did for the others. It's actually just a sand might work. Although in the corner, it's always handy to have that paint stripper. And to make a new one, I don't have anything really that size. The closest I could find was this, which was a server unit bracket. I rescued it from the skip years ago, and I made all sort of stuff. One of them is that large sheet of metal that I use in a lot of my covers, but it's not quite long enough. Now technically it's handy because it's just the same depth here, and if I place it right, I can actually fit all 3 holes. So we'll be able to secure that, and it'll help. Just this will be the bottom clamp and the top clamp like that, and it'll provide enough length anyway to secure the marquee. Maybe we'll do that. Oh, hold on a second. I forgot I had this. This was a giant neon that was in my pallet shed where I used to make all my surfboards. And you want to, when you're sanding surfboards, you want it neon at sort of surfboard level, slightly higher, like an inch higher than where the surfboard is. And that helps, that throws like a horizontal light and helps you see all the imperfections in your sanding in your surfboard. But I don't plan on using any neon that size anymore. If I size it like that, I have enough length. It's not quite high enough here, but that doesn't matter because that'll be hidden on top of the cab. So it can just be that deep. Or actually I can even hammer that section here. And the problem is this edge is the one that's going to be visible, and we've these holes here. And yeah, and this one over here is just a bit too close to the edge. It'll make things a bit ugly. Although I could patch them with a fiberglass. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll just cut a section of this and then patch whatever is here with fiber and resin, because it is perfect and the angle is there. It's wherever I don't have to make a clean angle like that, I'm happy. I think this might work. It'll be the right length. All right, that's it there. Letting the paint stripper do its thing for a few minutes. We'll clean all that, sand it down, and I need to patch those holes here. I'm looking at the wheel assembly. So this is a wheel that Stephen Leary, Terrible Fire, gave me when he came over to pick up the Sega Rally cabs that I got a couple of years back now. And this is the wheel that was on it. And it was essentially just bolted into this guy. And this here, which is just a cover like to hide the shaft here, was sort of loose. And essentially this was actually put in into this from the front. It should actually be bolted from the back, from under this this whatever cover flange thing, and essentially I don't think this was the original wheel that was on it. It was, this should be like probably a badge or a cover here, and I believe this is the one that Stephen had on his own cab and then gave me. It's got a small hole. You probably got a better one, but it'll do for me. So I'm not sure what this wheel was from. It looks like a Taito type of wheel, but it was probably from a different type of cab. I'm not sure. But this is how it should be put and held from behind with this guy in here anyway. So I've also cleaned most of the assemblies here. I've re-greased. There's like there's bearings here. I've re-greased those. There's another one here, and that, which way does it go? Yeah, that's the cover, and yeah, this bearing goes into here, and this bearing lodges on top of that. Yeah, that's it. So I need to remember the order when we reassemble all that. All right, that's both of them sprayed. So this is the one I've redone. You can see it's not perfect, but what's important is this is going to be on top, so you won't see any of that. And this edge, I try to make this edge as clean and straight as possible. And yeah, you can't even tell that I had to patch it with where was it over here? I think patch it with a fiberglass compound. So yeah, I think this will be good enough to put back. Let me zoom out. So yeah, I think this is good enough to put back on the cab. Last coat of paint, and then varnish. So leave that for varnish. I'll varnish overnight, and we should be able to put that back in the cab tomorrow. All right, I think that works. That keeps the Marquee in place. That poor Marquee, I thought it was in better condition than it is. There's a lot of holes here, and I think we'll see the neon through it. I'm tempted to get a repro, but I think this still has a few years in it, so I might keep it original for now. A few battle scars won't hurt. Put the monitor back in. Obviously we've got the pedal, the bottom plate, the coin acceptor, everything is back in place. So I'm just waiting essentially for the art. These things take a while. You know, a lot of these repro stuff is done by individuals, and everybody's got a life. So you have to be patient. I have a shop myself when I do stuff, and you know, I do ask people for patience sometimes, because you know, I'm not always necessarily available. It's part of the hobby. That's the way it works. So hopefully I'll get it before I go on holidays in 2 weeks. Well, not holidays, but I'm going to France. I'll be working from there for a while. And yeah, I think this is where this video is going to stop. We're nearing completion with this cab. Once we've got the art, I'm going to rebuild the control panel, put that in. We'll be able to put the bezel, the bezel in. I also have ordered from Ollie as well the cardboard surround that goes over the bezel. I have the bezel, and then we'll have to worry about hopefully getting that monitor working. Hopefully it is working, and then the board itself, and see what the deal is with the wiring. But that's, I think, for the last video. Anyway, folks, I hope this was interesting. This was a metalwork, essentially, part. And thank you for watching. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, there's a Patreon and YouTube membership. We have a Discord where we discuss not just arcade stuff, a lot of music, a lot of nonsense, and I'm also available on most social media platforms. Blue Sky is my preferred platform, but I'm kind of everywhere these days. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.